guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you didn't already know, act like you know, because it's that as well. So let's hop right into this video. So today is episode 2, Gone, The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. Before we hop in though, you already know what to do. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and then throughout the video like and comment and whatever. But without further ado, let's just hop right into it. Guys, I am so excited. This is now Michonne's POV, y'all. So now we get to see where Michonne has been for all the years that Rick has spent in the Republic, and then leading up to when Michonne finds Rick. So Michonne's part kind of goes back to the bridge scene in The Walking Dead where Rick shoots at the explosives and then she thinks that he's dead. Everyone thinks that he's either dead or like lost or somewhere, right? And so that was such a gut-wrenching scene just to replay, because it's just like you feel a sense of like loss, but you know that like. So Michonne is traveling, right? And she comes across these two strangers, and they're part of some like constantly moving community. They're never in one place. They're literally like always moving, like cars and RVs. And in my head, I'm just like, what are they running on? They can't be running on water. But that's not the point. So she saves these strangers, and she basically is asking their leader for resources, right? Like, you're traveling, you know, you don't want to, you know, leave with nothing. I mean, they don't really owe her, but they kind of do because she saved their lives. But anyways, so they kind of go like back and forth, tit for tat, and Michonne eventually is able to convince them to give her a horse, because there's a character on there that's named Nat, and he is a phenomenal actor. I hope that's his pronoun, but like phenomenal actor. Came barging right into like, I guess, the discussion of whether they should give Michonne resources or not, and was like basically demanded. Okay, like his presence, his personality, like although he's short, whatever, like huge personality, huge presence, and like I just loved it. Came in there and was like basically standing on business. Give Michonne her horse, okay? Give it to her. So anyways, Michonne basically ends up telling this character, Nat, and the couple that she saved about basically what her journey is and why she's even out there in the first place. And they basically are just like, you know what, we're gonna wish you well, like luck. But before she can leave, they end up having a little like small talk about basically how Michonne thinks that they should come along with her, but they're like, nah, we scared. Like, we're terrified. Like, there's a lot going on. There's a horde in the direction that she's going in anyway, and they're just like, we're not about that life. So then Michonne ends up going lone wolf, you know, and she ends up face to face with this horde, except for they're like going across, right? It's kind of like a river of them, like, well, more than a river. It's a huge freaking horde. She's trying to figure out, you know, how to get across. So she pulls out some explosives, and then she like shoots it into this horde of zombies, the walkers, to basically get them to like kind of scatter a little bit or move in a certain direction. And it kind of backfires, because one of the zombies that she launched an explosive into starts walking towards her and has a bunch of like gasolines. How convenient, first of all. How convenient that this damn walker has gasoline and all this sorts of, you know, things that would make an explosion even bigger on it. And then it basically ends up knocking her off of the horse, and the horde starts to turn on Michonne. Y'all, I started to lose my mind. I was like, ain't no way this lady is about to get torn to bits. This is not that. Like, she has to be in this season full through and through. As the horde is coming closer to her, there are some explosives that go on in the background behind her, but it goes off on the left and the right. And so I'm sitting here puzzled with like, who could that be, and why is it purple? Like, that's a cute shade of purple. It's been like lilac, you know, flames. But yeah, it went off, and y'all, the freaking walkers parted like the damn Red Sea. I was like, huh, that is such a cool scene. Like, it disoriented the walkers. So I was just like, that is such a cool way to, like, I don't know, like, show her getting through, like, you know what I mean? Like, then it turns out it's the very same people that she saved. They, like, grabbed a bunch of people that were just like, you know what, we don't want to be, you know, scared anymore. We want to be, you know, not heroes, but we want to, you know, help you along on your journey. This feels like, you know, a true love kind of journey. We want you to find your person kind of thing. And Michonne's just like, damn, y'all really came out here and saved me. Like, y'all did not have to do that. And so Michonne starts to learn more about Nat. You know, later on when they settle down, they're waiting for the horde to really just, like, dissipate so they can move on and go to the bridge terminal, because that's, like, one of the key points of this episode. So they sit down, they're talking, Michonne and Nat and the couple, and Michonne finds out that Nat doesn't really like many people, but he really likes Michonne and the couple that she saved, and that's another reason why he joined. But we also find out a lot about, like, he's like an expert in explosives and fixing things, and that really, like, helps a lot into this episode. So they move on, right? And they make it to some sort of town, some sort of city. You know, they're minding their business. They're just walking down a street, very, like, quiet, very, like, it wasn't eerie, but it was just too quiet, too good to be true. And it was, because this helicopter, the black one, is from the Republic, came out of nowhere. It circled back, and then it started dropping, like, what did they call it? Chlorine gas. Like, you know how sick you gotta be to drop chlorine gas or any type of gas on unsuspecting pedestrians. That's what I'm gonna call them. You know, survivors. These are human beings, and you're just like, well, well, you're getting too close to our secret city. And they didn't really even give a reason why. I just assumed it's because they were getting close to the secret city that they're in, and that's why they dropped the gas on them. But it could have just been for funsies, because these people, they've been, you know, in survival mode for so long that these people from the Republic probably just kill survivors because it's fun, because it's something new. So they ended up doing that, and I'm telling you, they literally lost more than half, like, of the group of people. Like, it was just, at the end of the day, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm not even gonna front, it was just Nat and Michonne that survived, that recovered from the chlorine gas. Like, they were sick. So many people died. The couple that she saved earlier on in the episode died, which was, it was really sad, because the lady was pregnant, and I was like, that's sick. Like, these people from the Republic have no decency for life, because if they did, they would have just maybe shot warning signs, maybe, like, used a megaphone and said, you know, turn back now, or something. But they didn't care. They were just like, eliminate them, and that's what they did. So anyways, so yeah, Nat and Michonne survive it, and so they decide to press on. They press on, they go to the bridge terminal, and Michonne finds a bunch of dead bodies everywhere, and they've been burnt to crisp. Like, their shoes have been taken, and I'm pretty sure they're probably given to the Republic civilians or the soldiers, which is even more effed up. It kind of reminded me of, like, so then Michonne starts to break down, because she finds his boots or his stuff and whatever, Rick's stuff, and she's just torn up. And so Nat, the other character with her, the only survivor from the chlorine gas, he's with her, and he's just like, you know what, maybe it's just time for us to turn around, go back. And Michonne's just like kind of fighting it back, but you know, she comes to this reality that, and with Nat's help, that it's not giving up if you go back and you still believe that that person is still out there. So they start making their way back, and they encounter the helicopter, but it's not the same one, right? We don't know that for sure, but it's not the same one, because Rick's on board and everything, right? So remember from the last episode that the helicopter crashes because they knocked it down and whatever, and so they end up meeting, right? And so one of the individuals that Michonne had, like, unalived, or thought she finished unaliving with the sword, that person gets up and shoots Nat and kills him, like, unalives him. And it was so unfortunate. It was really, really sad. He didn't even have time to process it, because the Republic were sending backup, because the the helicopter went down, and walkie-talkies and everything went down. And then they were closing in, and Rick's like, you gotta come back with me, you gotta come back to the Republic with me, and ended up just convincing Michonne to come back. And so she had to do this weird interview. And when she did the interview, honestly, it wasn't even convincing to me that the persona or the story that she was giving to the people was even remotely true. But she gave them that story, they let her in, and Rick and her met up in one of like these buildings, and it literally felt like a little high school kind of, I don't know, like a high school scene where you go and sneak off and meet your boyfriend underneath the bleachers, but it was like next to these like military freaking cars. So they're like kissing and basically trying to catch up, and Rick's just like, how's everybody back home? And Michonne's kind of like reserved a little bit about giving him that information, because it just seems like Rick is giving off the vibes that he kind of wants to stay there, and he wants to be comforted by, Michonne's news about how everybody else is doing, and that'll kind of satisfy him. At least that's what I was getting from their conversation, because she was just like, I'll tell you when we get out of here how everybody's doing. And then we find out that Jadis, the woman that called the helicopter in The Walking Dead to pick up Rick, and he was like super injured and brought him back to the Republic, she confronts Rick and is like, bruh, I know that's Michonne, I know what's going on here, and if you try to freaking escape, I'm coming for the ass. I'm unaliving you, Michonne, everybody I know where Alexandria is. I think she said where she knows what that is. But anyway, she was like, I'm basically gonna eliminate all of y'all if you try to escape again. And she is definitely gonna have to tussle, especially with Michonne, because Michonne is gonna try to escape. Because one of the scenes that they showed in this episode, we finally get to see kind of more of the layout of the military base of the Republic, when Michonne kind of climbs up on one of those like containers, and she's able to see everything, and she's angry, and she has Nat's lighter, the guy that is like the expert with the explosives. She has his lighter, and she's like hearing all these different things that he's told her, his journey. She really grew to like him, and these people killed basically her people because they came along to this journey to find freaking Rick with her. So they have a lot on their hands, and I'm excited to see episode 3, because now the storyline, we're here, they're together, and now I'm really excited to see where we go next. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode though down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.